Hollywood, October 1960. When the rain machines turned on, nobody expected Audrey Hepburn to actually break down. 8 minutes earlier, William Wyler said 7 words that shattered the most elegant woman in Hollywood. What came next wasn't acting, it was something impossible. Paramount Studios, Soundstage 9, Monday morning, 6:47 a.m. The air carries that distinctive smell of fresh Maxwell House coffee, sawdust and machine oil. Temperature 68 degrees Fahrenheit. 40 crew members move with controlled chaos. Jack Morrison, head cameraman, 23 years in the business, adjusts the massive 120-pound Mitchell camera. 3 lighting technicians position 10K tungsten lights. Sound engineer Bobby Kellerman runs cables, monitoring 38 decibels of ambient noise through his Sennheiser headphones. This is Breakfast at Tiffany's, the film that will gross $14 million on a $2.5 million budget. The film that will make Audrey Hepburn eternal. But right now, nobody realizes they're about to witness something impossible. Audrey Hepburn sits alone in her canvas director's chair, 15 feet from the main set, 5 feet 5 inches tall, 110 pounds, 31 years old. She wears Holly Golightly's iconic costume, the 1,100 stitch Givenchy dress, 5-strand Mikimoto pearl necklace worth $8,000, oversized sunglasses, hair swept into that perfect chignon that took Sydney Galaroff 45 minutes to create using 37 bobby pins. But beneath the costume, beneath 7 layers of makeup, Audrey is terrified. Her hands shake, not trembling, actually shaking. 2-3 millimeters of visible movement. 3 weeks on this set, 21 shooting days, 3 weeks of battle with one man, William Wyler. Wyler isn't officially directing, that's Blake Edwards' job. But Wyler, age 58, 5 feet 6 inches, 165 pounds, directed Audrey to her Oscar in Roman Holiday. He's been brought in as creative consultant. For 3 weeks, 126 takes across 12 scenes, he hasn't approved of anything. She's playing it too light, Wyler told producer Martin Juro last Tuesday. Loud enough for Audrey to hear from 30 feet away. Holly Golightly isn't a charming girl in a pretty dress. She's damaged, running from something dark. Audrey's giving me sunshine when I need shadows. Those words haunt Audrey every single day, because William Wyler is right. She's been playing Holly safe, playing her sweet. But Truman Capote's Holly Golightly isn't sweet. She's a survivor, a $50 a week call girl. A woman who married at 14 to escape poverty. A woman using charm as armor against a brutal world. Audrey understands Holly intellectually, but emotionally, she's terrified to go there. Because going there means revealing the one thing she spent 16 years hiding from the world. The hunger during World War II. 5 months of near starvation in winter 1944-45, when 20,000 Dutch civilians died. Audrey was 15, weighed 88 pounds at liberation, growth permanently stunted, the fear of her mother's arrest, which almost happened twice, years of poverty surviving on charity, wearing clothes made from curtains, and the desperation. Things a 15-year-old girl does to keep herself and her mother alive when there's no food, no money. Things she's never told anyone. Small moral compromises that keep the body breathing, but kill something in the soul. Audrey Hepburn's public image, elegance, grace, the girl who makes the world smile. Audrey Hepburn's private reality, survival, hunger, darkness, shame, and the terror that someone will see through the performance. This morning's scene is pivotal. Scene 47, pages 62 to 65. Holly on the fire escape in rain, mascara running, talking about the mean reds, that nameless dread, nothing can fix. The soul of the film. Blake Edwards has been patient, too patient, Wyler believes. Edwards wants Audrey comfortable, Wyler wants truth. This morning, 6:47 a.m., Wyler has decided enough is enough, because in 8 minutes he's going to say 7 words that will crack open 16 years of walls, and what pours out will be impossible to control. At 7:15 a.m. exactly, William Wyler walks onto Soundstage 9, 3 Academy Awards for Best Director, known for 40, 50, 60 takes until he gets exactly what he wants. Known for making stars, and for being demanding to the point of cruelty. Bette Davis once said, "Wyler will destroy you to get the performance, but it will be worth it." He walks directly toward Audrey's chair. 40 feet, 30, 20. Crew members stop. Watch. Everyone knows this walk. Audrey sees him coming. Her breath catches. Visible rise and fall. The Givenchy dress tightening. Something tightens around her heart. "Audrey," Wyler says when he's 5 feet away, voice quiet, but carrying across the entire stage. "We need to talk." She stands. 5'5". He's 5'6", nearly eye to eye. She smooths her dress, nervous habit, fingers touching the cold pearls at her neck. Of course, Mr. Wyler. They walk 20 feet to the set. The fire escape is real metal, salvaged from a New York building, 8 feet high. Rain machines wait above. 3 machines, 50 gallons per minute each. Water temperature, 58 degrees Fahrenheit, cold enough to shock. Wyler stops, turns. His expression isn't angry. It's concerned, almost sad. 3 seconds of silence, long enough for Audrey to hear her heartbeat. 94 beats per minute, faster than her resting 72. You're hiding, he says simply. 2 words. Audrey's composure cracks like safety glass, 1,000 tiny fractures from a single impact. I'm doing my best. I've studied the script. You understand her up here, Wyler interrupts, tapping his temple. But you're not letting yourself feel her here. Hand over his heart. Every take is technically perfect. Perfect diction, perfect Audrey Hepburn. But Holly Golightly is not perfect. She's messy, scared, running from demons she can't name. He steps closer, 3 feet apart. She can smell Old Spice and coffee. And you know those demons, Audrey. I know you do. Tears well instantly. Real tears, not actress tears. She blinks rapidly, turns her head away. Years of training scream. Don't cry on set. Don't show weakness. Maintain composure. I don't know what you mean, she whispers. Her voice cracks on mean, breaking into 2 syllables under stress. Wyler steps closer. 2 feet now. I know about Holland, the hunger winter. I know you weighed 88 pounds at Liberation, eating tulip bulbs, watching people die in streets. I know you've built this image of elegance to protect yourself from ever feeling that helpless again. His eyes lock onto hers. But Holly is you, Audrey. The girl who survived by any means necessary. The girl who learned to smile while her world fell apart. The girl still terrified that if anyone sees the real her, they'll realize she's not worth loving. And then Wyler says the 7 words that will change everything. He leans in, 6 inches from her face. Stop protecting yourself and start telling the truth. 7 words, 4 seconds. They hit like physical blows. Her hands shake violently now. 5 millimeters. She clasps them together, squeezing until knuckles turn white. It doesn't stop. That's not who I am anymore. It's exactly who you are, Wyler says gently. And it's your greatest strength. But you have to be brave enough to show it. Silence. 10 seconds. The set is so quiet, Bobby Kellerman can hear his own pulse through his headphones. 40 crew members pretend not to watch. Everyone is watching. Finally, Audrey speaks. Barely audible. If I go there, if I let myself feel what Holly feels, what I felt at 15, her voice breaks. I don't know if I can come back. Wyler nods. I know. That's what makes it real. Safe performances are forgettable. Dangerous performances are impossible to ignore. He turns to leave. 3 steps. Stops. Looks back. You have a choice, Audrey. Give me another pretty performance everyone will forget in a year. Or give me the truth, and this film will matter forever. Truth doesn't age. Truth doesn't go out of style. He checks his watch. 7:23 a.m. 8 minutes from now, we're shooting scene 47. You decide which Holly you're giving me. The safe one or the real one. He walks away. Footsteps echoing. Click, click, click. Steady, calm, certain. And what happens in those 8 minutes will change not just the film, but Audrey's entire understanding of who she really is. 7:23 a.m. 8 minutes until the scene. Audrey doesn't sit. Can't. She paces. 5 steps. 5 back. Her mind isn't in Hollywood. She's in Arnhem, Netherlands. Velperweg 76. November 1944. She's 15. Weighs 95 pounds, down from 118. Losing 1 pound per week. At this rate, dead by March. Her mother making tulip bulb soup. Again. The 3rd time this week. Because tulip bulbs are the only food left. Audrey remembers the taste. Bitter. Chalky. Like eating dirt mixed with rotten vegetables. You eat them because the alternative is death. She remembers the hunger. Not I'm hungry hunger. Starvation. Your body consuming itself. Fat disappears. Then muscles. Then organs degrade. Always cold. Always shivering. And the fear. Absolute, primal terror of not knowing if you'll live to see tomorrow. She remembers the calculations. If I move less, I'll need less food. If I sleep more, time passes faster. If I smile, maybe mother won't see how scared I am. And she remembers the moment, December 8th, 1944, 2:47 p.m., when she realized survival meant doing things she never thought she would do. A German soldier, young 19, homesick, offering half a loaf of bread in exchange for what? She didn't, but she thought about it, stood there 5 minutes considering, 5 minutes weighing morality against 300 calories. She walked away. But the shame of having considered it, knowing that given another week, she might have said yes, that shame never went away. Holly Golightly feels that shame. Holly runs from it. Holly is Audrey without the elegant mask. Holly is the truth Audrey has been hiding since 1944, and in 5 minutes she has to decide, keep hiding, or finally let the world see. 7:26 a.m., 5 minutes, Audrey stops at the makeup mirror. 40-60 watt bulbs, 2400 watts of illumination, no shadows, no hiding. 5:5, 1:10, 31, perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect dress, perfect pearls, perfect, and completely false. She picks up a Kleenex, wipes away 30% of the powder. Wally Westmore spent 40 minutes applying. Real skin underneath, slightly shiny, a blemish, a scar from falling off a bicycle at 9. She pulls 3 bobby pins out. 37 becomes 34. A few strands fall loose. She dips her finger in water, runs it along her left eye, deliberately smudging mascara. Not dramatically, just enough to look like she's been crying. Wally rushes over. Miss Hepburn, your makeup. Leave it, Audrey says quietly but firmly. I want to look like I've been crying. I want to look real. Blake Edwards nods slowly, understanding something has shifted. 7:28 a.m., 3 minutes. Audrey walks to the fire escape. 17 steps. The metal is cold. 64 degrees. She climbs 3 metal steps, sits on the grating, pulls her knees to her chest. This exact position, the same position from the war. In the corner of her bedroom, in the dark, trying to make herself small, trying to disappear. Her body remembers. Muscle memory from 16 years ago. Shoulders curl automatically. Head drops. Blake approaches. Audrey, we'll run it once for blocking. No rehearsal, Audrey says. No blocking. Just shoot it. One take. If I do this more than once, I won't be able to. Blake and Wyler exchange a glance. Wyler nods. All right. One take. Everyone ready. 7:31 a.m. 0 minutes. 8 minutes since Wyler spoke 7 words. Time's up. Rain on standby. Margaret Walsh calls. Speed. Bobby confirms. Camera rolling. Jack says. Action. Blake whispers. The rain machines activate. 150 gallons per minute. 58-degree water. The sound is overwhelming. 85 decibels. A roar like a waterfall. Cold water pours onto Audrey's head, soaking her hair in seconds. The chignon Sydney spent 45 minutes creating dissolves in 10 seconds. Onto her shoulders. The $1,200 Givenchy dress darkening as water saturates silk. Within 8 seconds, completely soaked. Bobby pins fall out. 3, then 5. Then the whole structure collapses. Dark hair plastered to her skull, hanging wet past her shoulders. Mascara runs in black rivulets. Waterproof mascara failing under 150 gallons per minute. Black lines from eyes to jaw. The elegant Holly Golightly dissolves, washes away. Perfect hair, perfect makeup, perfect image gone in 15 seconds. And then Audrey stops performing. Her body language changes completely. So sudden, so total, that Jack Morrison pulls back from the camera viewfinder, shocked. Perfect posture collapses. Shoulders curl forward, spine curves, head drops. She looks smaller. She pulls her knees tighter, wraps her arms around her legs, makes herself as small as possible, the same way she sat in Arnhem in 1944. When she speaks, I'm afraid, her voice doesn't sound like Audrey Hepburn or Holly Golightly. It sounds like a 15-year-old Dutch girl who hasn't eaten in 3 days. Her voice cracks on afraid, breaking into afraid. The second syllable almost a sob, not a line reading. A confession. George Peppard delivers his lines, but Audrey barely hears him. She's not present. She's gone somewhere else. Somewhere dark. Somewhere she hasn't allowed herself to go since 1945. Tears mix with rain. Real tears from real trauma, streaming down, invisible in rain but audible in her voice. The script calls for Holly to smile eventually, to deflect, to put the mask back on. Audrey doesn't smile, just sits in cold rain, shivering, actual shivering, core temperature dropping from 98.6 to 97.7, staring at nothing. She looks exactly like someone who survived something they shouldn't have, someone who doesn't know if they deserve to be alive. And nobody realizes yet. Audrey can't come back. She went too deep. She's lost. The scene runs 4 minutes 37 seconds. Blake doesn't say cut. He understands something's happening more important than film stock. Finally, cut. Quietly, gently. Rain machines shut off. Silence crashes down. Soundstage 9 completely silent. 40 frozen crew members. Jack Morrison has tears in his eyes. 23 years in the business. Worked with Hitchcock and Ford. Never cried on set before. He's crying now. Margaret Walsh openly weeping. Clipboard on the floor. Forgotten. Sidney Gelleroff, who styled Garbo and Dietrich. That's not acting. I don't know what that is, but it's real. Bobby Kellerman. I recorded something impossible. It's technically perfect audio, but it's not acting. Audrey remains on the fire escape, soaked, shivering, unable to move, still in Arnhem, still 15, still starving, still terrified, breathing rapid, 26 breaths per minute, hands gripping metal, knuckles white, eyes unfocused, staring at nothing. She went to the dark place Wyler demanded, and now she can't find her way back. William Wyler sees it immediately. Dissociation. He's seen this once before. An actress who couldn't separate from character, required therapy, couldn't finish the film. If he's wrong, if Audrey can't come back, he might have destroyed the most talented actress of her generation.
He walks slowly to the fire escape, climbs up, sits beside her, shoulders touching, doesn't speak, just sits. Presence without words. 30 seconds, no response. 60 seconds, nothing. 90 seconds. He's seriously worried now. After 2 minutes, Audrey, come back. You're safe. You're in Hollywood. The war is over. You survived. You're safe now. Still no response. Hand on her shoulder. The silk is cold, soaked. He feels her shivering. Rapid breathing. Come back, Audrey. After another 30 seconds, breathing slows. 26, 24, 22, 18. Her eyes focus slightly. She whispers, barely audible, I can't do that again. Relief floods through Wyler. She's back. You don't have to. That was perfect. That was true. That was impossible. It hurt. I know. That's how you know it was real. He helps her stand. Legs unsteady. Core temperature, 96.8. Approaching mild hypothermia. Shivering continuously. Down from the fire escape. Jennifer wraps a wool blanket around her shoulders. Blake approaches. Eyes red. Audrey, that was the most honest performance I've ever seen. In any film. Ever. Audrey nods but can't speak. Still coming back. Wyler stays beside her. Hand on shoulder. Anchoring. You're safe. Hollywood. Not Holland. 1960. Not 1944. You're here. Slowly breathing steadies. 12 breaths per minute. Normal. Shaking subsides. She looks at Wyler. Really looks. Recognizes him. No performance in her eyes. Just exhaustion. Relief. Raw humanity. I didn't know I was still carrying that. We all carry things. The difference is you just used yours to create something impossible. But what nobody realizes yet, this 8-minute scene, this 4:37 take, will change cinema history. Later. 3 p.m. Paramount Commissary. Audrey sits alone, nursing English breakfast tea. Changed clothes. Gray slacks. White blouse. Hair in simple ponytail. No full makeup. She looks younger. More like the 15-year-old she was. Wyler enters. Sits. Orders black coffee. Silence. Finally, Audrey. Why did you push me like that? Wyler considers carefully. Because I know what you're capable of. I've watched you give beautiful, safe performances for 7 years, and I've thought she has something extraordinary, but she's too afraid to show it. Playing it safe kept me alive. I know. Survival is its own courage, but you're not surviving anymore, Audrey. You're living. And there's a difference. Living means being willing to be vulnerable. The truth is ugly. The truth is human. Humans connect to humanity, not perfection. Audrey looks at her tea. I built this image, elegant actress, graceful star, because I never wanted to feel helpless again. If I'm always in control, nothing can hurt me. Except it's a prison. You're so busy protecting yourself you're not fully alive. Tears well up. I don't know how to be vulnerable and safe at the same time. You just did it. This morning. You were vulnerable in front of 40 people, cameras that will show millions, and you survived. You're sitting here. You're safe. Small sad smile. It felt like dying. All transformation does. The caterpillar doesn't know it's becoming a butterfly. It just knows everything is dissolving. What if I can't do it every time? Then be safe. No rule says you bleed for every performance, but when it matters, when the role demands truth, you have to be willing. Like today. Audrey nods. Understanding. The choice isn't between vulnerability and safety. It's between truth and comfort. And truth, while painful, is the only thing that lasts. Months later. March 18th, 1961. New York apartment. The phone rings. 9:17 a.m. Her agent Kurt. Audrey, you've been nominated. Best Actress. Expected, but hearing it makes it real. The buzz is incredible. Everyone's talking about the fire escape scene. They're calling it the most honest performance ever. Some think it wasn't acting at all. She closes her eyes. Remembers October. 8 minutes. Rain. Tears. Terror. Wyler anchoring her back. It almost didn't happen. She walks to the window. 8 blocks south. The real Tiffany's, where Holly felt safe. She thinks about Holly. About herself at 15. About the woman she became. Elegant, graceful, admired. And beneath all that, still carrying the scared girl. She realizes what Wyler was teaching her. The scared girl and the elegant woman aren't separate. Both are true. Both real. Both her. Both necessary. Hiding one to protect the other was never safety. Just loneliness. Just imprisonment. The phone rings. Congratulations. Again. 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 The world celebrates her vulnerability. The moment she stopped hiding. Something impossible. And Audrey allows herself to feel it all. Fear. Pride. Relief. Shame. Strength. Cost. Beauty of truth. Without perfection. Without performance. Without mask. Just Audrey. Scared and strong. Broken and whole. All true. All real. All impossible. All her. Film historians will debate Breakfast at Tiffany's forever. But unanimously, they agree. Audrey Hepburn's fire escape scene is one of the most honest, most impossible moments ever captured on film. Acting students study it frame by frame. 274 seconds. Every expression. Every tear. Actresses. Streep, Blanchett, Davis. Cited as inspiration. Directors show it as example of real vulnerability. In 1989, Barbara Walters asked, "Were you scared that morning?" Audrey smiled. That sad smile holding lifetimes. Terrified. Every second. But William Wyler told me, the caterpillar doesn't know it's becoming a butterfly. It just knows everything is dissolving. That morning I dissolved, and what emerged was more real than anything I'd shown before. Do you regret it? Never. For 16 years I built walls. That morning I let them fall, and I discovered vulnerability isn't weakness. It's the only way to truly connect. Whether across a fire escape or through a screen 30 years later. What would you say to Wyler now? Eyes filled with tears. Thank you. For seeing what I was hiding. For not letting me hide. For teaching me survival isn't living. For sitting with me when I couldn't come back. For anchoring me. She looked at the camera. At everyone who would ever see this. The world thinks elegance is my legacy. The dresses. The image. And that's beautiful. But my real legacy is that fire escape scene. 8 minutes when I stopped being Audrey Hepburn, Hollywood star, and became just Audrey. 15. Starving. Terrified. Broken. Real. Voice soft but certain. That's the only performance that ever truly mattered. Because it was the only performance impossible to fake.